Hey folks, my name is Ravish and welcome back to another video in the series of DevOps Interviews. Now in today's interview, I have a profile with me. This person is having around 4 years of experience in DevOps and 4 years of experience in cloud as well. This guy started his career as a system admin and he has very good knowledge on the Linux. So we have concentrated more on Linux on this interview. And there are two things that I would like to discuss. That first is Linux and second is Terraform. So most of the interview are on these two topics. And there is one very interesting thing about this interview is this guy has not worked on mostly on CI, only on the CD part. So we would concentrate more on the infrastructure side. We would concentrate more on the delivery side, the deployment side. And we would understand that there is a position like this in which you do not concentrate much on the CI part and do on the CD part. So in my career, I think 3 years back, there was a position that came to me in which I appeared for an interview. They also told me there is a position like we concentrate more on the CD part and not on the CI part. There is a separate team for CI and separate team for CD. So this is one very interesting thing about this interview. All right, and so if you're new over here and seeing me for the first time, my name is Ravish and I create content for DevOps and cloud related stuff. Please subscribe the channel because it really motivates me to create more content like this. So without further ado, let's get started.
What is your total experience is 5+ years, right?
Yeah, it's more near to the 6 years.
And in DevOps?
It's almost around 4 years.
Okay. And in cloud?
Yeah, that's similar.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Can you explain me the whole CI/CD process of your project?
Okay. So it's like we are using, you can say, okay, I will start from application code side. Like we are using Maven as a build tool, then SonarQube and SonarCheck for, you can say, code quality purpose. That was, you can say, CI part. And then in a CD part, if you come, so over there we are using Terraforms and then Jenkins and Ansible as well for as a configuration tool. And then, our public cloud, AWS or GCP. So that are the whole things we are using. And when you come, say, pipelines, so we have like Jenkins pipelines in place. So it's like you can say we have used shared libraries. Pipeline is a shared libraries, and over there there are, you can say, different stages. So you can say I can say one stage is for the creating the you can say build of applications code. So that is for and then we have like one for image build, and then one for deployment at the image.
Okay. Now I would like to stop you right there. So let's go by each stage. Okay. So you said that the first stage
Okay.
is Maven, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why are you folks using Maven?
So Maven is something, you can say, for it's for the build tool. Like when we have to it's in, if you say before the like build tools, we used to do testing on our local machines, and then we gonna like add that code to like central repository or anywhere. So it's like it will be a difficult to like. You can say because multiple application you can say developer are working on same code, so it's difficult to providing the all, you can say, dependency and all that. So Maven is it's a great solution, you can say, where we can create a jar of your application codes and test it
Okay.
our application. Yeah.
Okay. What is the tech stack of your project? I mean, can you explain that? Like, what languages do you use to write the project?
No, it's depend on applications requirement, but I have seen that application team are using Java sometimes it's Python. So it's totally depend on the requirements. but
Okay.
mostly Java been used.
Okay. So you use this Maven for Java or for Python?
I'm not using because I work on infrastructure, so it's application developers and like application DevOps team who deal with this.
Okay. So you are more of an infrastructure engineer,
Yeah.
not a DevOps like CI/CD part.
Yes, you can say infra side I'm working more, and you can say I'm mostly working on CD side, not CI side.
Oh, okay, okay. No problem, no problem. Then how many teammates you are? Do you have in your
Actually,
team?
in within my team we have 8 members
Eight
working.
members. Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you distribute the work? I mean, who will do the CI? Who will do the CD? How are you distributed it?
It's like all 8 members are working on CD part only. As I mentioned, so whenever some application team decide to move their application to, you can say, cloud, they come up with us, and the application teams also have hierarchy like developers, and they have their own DevOps, like you can say, application DevOps members. So they are more to working towards you can say CI parts, and we are as a you can say infra team. We are working on a CD part. So it's like we have multiple project ongoing. So uh, like one project get assigned to one people, and he will help for that to that particular application stream.
Okay, okay. So on a daily basis, you are more on the delivery part, right? So
Yeah.
what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment?
Okay. So continuous delivery is something you can say when you are making the changes in your codes and it's get deployed on first dev and then you can say QA and then production. There will be no manual intervention. That's just continuous deployment. So continuous delivery is something you can say when you are deploying your codes on a dev, then in QA, and while deploying on a prod you are manually like approving that changes you can say after review. So that is something you can say continuous delivery.
Okay, okay. Do you have a product owner uh, in your team?
Yeah, not you can say that's a home application team says product owner.
Okay, so who takes the decision of the delivery? Whose call it is?
Uh, that's a application team called what changes they want to deploy.
Okay, okay. So, a person who is in delivery team, can you explain me your day-to-day task? What do you exactly do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, as I mentioned, like whenever application team decide to move their application on a cloud, so they come up with us. It's like we have, you can say, architect diagram with us. So whatever required for, like you can say, deploying the applications. Like let's consider we are deploying one VAS application which have database as well. So so when you say this thing, so we have to create a VPC, then subnets, and then like you can say you have to create EC2 instances, then RDS, then for EC2 instances and databases, we need to create monitoring, alerting, so SNS topic, CloudWatch, cloud monitoring. That's all you can say. Then you have to like if it's using internet, so you have to attach that to the like you can transit gateway or any you can internet gateway or any other options we are using. Then we have to map the Route 53. So for DNS. So that's our whole things you can say core infra sites we are doing.
Okay, and what do you use for this infrastructure building?
Terraform.
Okay, you folks are using Terraform. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate yourself in Terraform?
I can rate 7 to 8.
Okay, great, great. So these servers that you folks create are mostly on Windows or Linux?
No, it's you can say 99% on Linux.
Oh, great. So I can see that you have certification on Linux as well, right?
Yeah, it shows like you can say initial phase I work as a Linux admin, so I did it.
Okay, okay, great, great. So let's talk about Linux first. What do you understand by Linux kernel?
Linux kernels is something you can say it's heart of operating systems. It's just something you can say whenever you are like inputting something on a you can say Linux system. So it is a kernel who interpret between us and like deploy your you can say whatever you are trying to do get executed.
Okay. When we talk about a process and a daemon, what is the difference between both of them?
Process and daemon. So process is something like it's a simple process like which are so let's consider some applications are running. So that comes as a one process which are in like whenever any applications running, there are a few processes which works in a background. So that is something we call as a process. And daemon is something you can say. I'm not sure on a daemon part, but it's just something you can say group of process which will get loaded while your OS get started.
Okay, okay, okay. Have you heard about LVM partition?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how do you reduce or shrink the size of LVM partition?
If you say in like RHL7 in it, we are using XFS file system, so I don't think so. There will be an option to reduce the LVM in XFS. We need to destroy the LVM logical volume groups and then recreate it. But LV reduce is something command it will use for that.
Okay, okay. So we always have a root user in Linux, right?
Yeah,
And it has all the privileges. So read, write, execute, all the privileges, right?
yeah.
Somehow I deleted the access for it. How do we regain it? I mean, we deleted the root user's execute access. How do we get it back? Is it possible?
First thing, we can't delete any access for root, but if you delete it and you are seeing such scenario like we forget the root password or something like that, so we can like go to the consoles and we can break the root passwords, right? Like first we have to like reboot the systems and then we have to press I think I think it's depend on your something web consoles. Then we have to go the like which started with Linux extents and then rd.track we have to do and then it will go to the you can say rescue modes. Over there we have to like reset the root passwords.
Okay. Let's say I have created a file in Linux. Okay.
Mhm.
Any shell file touch execute dot sh. Okay.
Mhm.
So I have just created the file, and this file starts my Tomcat. I've written everything. Whenever I'm trying to start it, it's not happening. What could be wrong over here?
So when you say sh, it should have execute permission first things.
Okay.
So so first thing we can check by like ls or ll. You can say you list down the files and check the permissions, and then after if permission is completely fine, then like we can run the script again, and if still it's not working, then we need to like check the logs of Tomcat why it's not getting started.
Okay. So if I want to give the execute access, what is the number that I give from Shimod?
So it says we give 7. So it's 4 for read, 2 for write, and 1 for execute.
Okay. Great, great, great. Okay, what do we understand by grep command and how do we use it? Can you give an example?
Okay. Grab is something you can say if you want to grab some pattern of if it is something pattern of something, then we use grab. So I can give an example like let's consider we have a number of process in our Linux systems, and we have to grab the process which have uh, Java in Java. There is one pattern. So so what we can do like ps hyphen ef, then 5, and then grep, and then hyphen I, and then the pattern, whatever pattern you have to search. So it will just list down the processes which have that particular pattern.
Okay, okay. Let's say I have a server that is running in Linux. Okay, let's say Tomcat server. So
Mhm.
I have started it. It's not starting and not even going down. It's somewhere stuck in the middle. How do you figure out like what to do and how will you do it? What would be your next step?
Okay. So if such case is there, then first of thing what we can do is like we can find out that particular process ID, and then we can kill that process and restart the Tomcat.
Okay, what is the command for killing it?
Kill hyphen 9 and then process ID.
Why do we use 9 over here specifically?
It's like we are killing. It's very like even forcefully killing.
Okay, and if I don't want to, I just want to kill it, not forcefully, do we have any other number?
I don't recall exactly now, but yeah, we have.
Okay, okay, no problem. Um, what do we understand by inode?
Okay. So whenever we create a file systems, we have assigned inodes to it. So it is you can say every files which been stored in that particular file systems got one inode numbers. So you can say if a file system have 50,000 inodes, then only 50,000 files we can store over there. So it's a,
Okay,
you can say unique ID that get assigned to that particular file.
okay, okay. Um, so there is something known as shadow password, right? What does it mean and how it is enabled?
Set of passwords. Exactly, I don't recall now.
Okay, okay, no problem. So, you folks are using Terraform as you said, right?
Yeah,
And you are creating infrastructure in GCP or AWS?
both. We are using both.
Both. Okay, okay. Mm, so which one are you more confident on, AWS or GCP?
I'm okay with both, like any cloud.
Okay, okay, great. What do you understand by modules in Terraform?
Okay. So module is something when you say like let's consider we have to create a VPC along with that VPC we have to create EC2 and other stuff like routes, fire, security groups and all that things. So if you have to create multiple things and if you write the Terraform codes in a, everything in main.th, so it will be like very complicated and if you want to change something in the codes, it will be difficult to read and modify it. So what we can do instead of that, uh, we can create different modules. So modules we can put generally we put in master folders like if you where all other like files or main.tif files and all other files are there. There we can create one folder with modules and we can put over there. So then we can call that modules in a main.tf files. So
Okay,
you can say clarity of code. We use modules
okay,
and better
okay.
management.
Uh, how is this child module and parent module related, and who makes a call to whom, and how does this happen? Can you give an example?
Okay, I it's like the parent module called to the child modules. That is the you can say patterns, and how like one example I can't recall now.
Okay. Okay. What do you understand by functions in Terraform?
Okay. Function, I think function is it's like if you want to if you want to find out mean or max or other things, similar things. So where we can call like we can use the Terraform functions.
Okay. Okay. Uh, have you ever done dynamic data fetching in Terraform?
No, no, I have
Heard
not.
about it?
Yeah, I have heard about it, but I have not work
Okay,
on it.
heard about it. So, do you know what exactly it is? Even in the theory?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Um, what do you mean understand by data sources?
I can't recall now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
It is data sources. I think it is something we can add value of it, and we can like in data sources we give the uh, sorry, I can't recall exactly, but I aware of data source.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so when we were talking about the modules, if I want to export data from one module to another, how do we do it?
Export data from one model to another model. Uh, I mean, so what type of data you are referring? Like it's we can call uh, AMI IDs or anything. So that's we can calls like with whatever variable we have defined. Other than that, you are referring something else.
There is a keyword for it, and then we create blocks of it, and that's how you can do it. Any idea on that? Have you ever done that?
No. Not.
Okay, so basically we can do that by defining output blocks in the module files, and then this data can be transferred to as a parameter to the destination module, whichever you want to do. Okay, okay, no problem.
Yeah, that's the output we gonna use for like printing out and some things. Yeah, and then yeah, definitely we can use it.
Okay,
We can use directly as well, like whatever the you are saying output you want, you can directly use that variables names, and then like uh, we can directly use that variable patterns. No need to like uh, use outputs and then add this thing.
okay. Uh, when we want to define the dependencies in a Terraform file, how do we do it? Does it have any its own mechanism for this management?
Yes, it's have for dependency, but I don't recall exactly now. Like,
Okay, actually there are two, implicit and explicit. So
yeah.
two way we can do it. Okay. Uh, what do we understand by a provisioner in Terraform?
There is two type of provisioning. Is one is remote and one is a local.
Mm-hmm.
So remote is something if you want to install some software on a remote locations, like let's consider we are creating EC2 instances, and then on EC2 instances you have to install some softwares. So at that time we can use remote. And if you want to if local is something if you want to install something on your local machine where you are running your Terraform code. So at that time we are using local version.
Okay. Okay. What is this external data block in Terraform?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, let's consider a scenario.
Mhm.
You folks use Terraform Cloud or something, or just
No, it's you can say we are installing Terraform on our local machines and yeah, using it. We are not using Terraform Cloud.
okay? So multiple people are using state files, right? Uh,
Yeah,
right. So sorry, multiple people are working on Terraform, and every workspace has its own state file.
yeah.
So how can two people using the same thing, different set of infrastructure in the same working directory? How can two people work on that? I can reiterate the question if you haven't understood.
Yeah, please, can you repeat?
So let's say there are two people. One is you, person A, person B. Both are using Terraform, and how they can create two different sets of infrastructure using same working directory. Is it even possible? If yes, how?
Okay. So if a such scenario, we can use different workspaces. We can create a different workspace and yeah, and, we can use it.
Okay, okay. So let's say these two people are working on the same state file. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what happens when these two start deploying the same infrastructure using the same state file?
We have like if you say in a GCP, we have inbuilt Terraform block features, and if you are using AWS, then we have to use I think DynamoDB, if I'm not wrong, for that purpose. So it's if you say on a concept side, it is like whenever two persons are hitting the infrastructure change, only the first person who have hit it for Terraform change, it will get executed, and for the second person, it will says like Terraform state file get locked. So whenever you are doing any changes on your infra, your TF state file get locked for that particular time period.
Okay, so is it every backend support does support the state locking feature?
No, I think for GCS it's by default, but for like S3 we are using DynamoDB or MySQL. I am not sure which database we have to configure.
Okay, okay. So how are you deploying these Terraform files? How are you running this by a pipeline or something? Or
Yeah, we are
manually?
using Jenkins pipeline.
Okay,
So
okay. Now consider a scenario. Uh, you are running a pipeline to create 10 VMs. Okay,
okay,
okay. And by mistake, in your file, you forgot to provide a dynamic parameter. Like, I mean, it is taking parameter, it is not taking parameter from Jenkins, it is taking parameter manually. Okay.
okay.
What happens in that stage? To
Uh, when you run Terraform apply, it will ask for that particular variable value.
what happens to the build?
Uh, uh, we have to manually provide if you are running Terraform apply, it should ask for that particular variable value. If you are providing that particular value, then it's going to execute it. If you are not providing the value, it will not get executed.
What will happen if it not get executed? Will it be stuck?
Yeah, it will stuck on asking for variable value.
Okay, so if you go to the console logs, it will be stuck over there.
Yeah.
As a DevOps, what would be your next step here? Because you cannot provide while running it, right? You can only provide if you have done would have done it manually. What would be your next step to resolve this situation?
We can abort that particular jobs and we can add the variable values and we execute.
Okay, so the first step is to abort it. Okay,
Yeah.
and the next step is to enter this value in a parameter, push the code, and then run it again. Will it run it again?
Yeah. Yeah, it will run it again.
No, it won't. Why?
Uh, it will run because in you can say if you have provided in your like uh, if you are providing in your you can say pipeline, it's like whenever some errors occurs or you about the code, destroy the whatever it's got created. So yeah, definitely it will work.
Have you heard about the concept of state locking?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It will if you okay. It will lock your like infra state on that particular state.
Yes, it will lock uh, your state file,
Yeah.
and once you abort it, the lock does not
Hmm.
go away. So if you rerun it, it won't work. You have to go
Okay.
inside the workspace, execute a few commands to re-release it or delete it manually, forcefully,
Okay.
then you have to re-execute it. It won't work.
Okay.
Okay. Have you heard about TF underscore log variable uh, in Terraform?
It is something for you can say log purpose. So we have like so you can in simple word I can say how much details log you want, but depend on that we can set that TF underscore log equal to and it's you want log like I don't recall exactly the options which we have, but it's totally related to the how much details logs you want.
Okay. Okay. That would be my last question for today. So, if see, whenever you create an infrastructure, so its data goes into Terraform state file. It keeps all the stuff like whatever you have created. Someone went manually into AWS or GCP infrastructure, did the changes. Okay. Now they are not in sync. Okay.
Okay.
So how can you, which command you can use to reconcile the Terraform state with the actual real world infrastructure?
Uh, we can run Terraform refresh, so it will like get details of actual infra in your Terraform TF state file.
Okay. So, what is it? On the same thing, just follow up question. There was
Mhm.
one thing known as Terraform apply hyphen refresh hyphen only, and now Terraform refresh. What is the difference between these two?
I'm not sure on that. Because,
Okay. Okay. The first one got deprecated. It was previously Terraform apply hyphen refresh hyphen only. Now it is Terraform refresh. Okay.
okay.
Um, yeah, I think I'm done over here.